All right, so you've probably seen tons of videos where people are claiming that they're letting AI run their entire business. I was actually pretty skeptical, just like you, until I tried it myself. And the results shocked me. Here's the thing, it's way simpler to integrate than I originally thought, and this approach will move the needle for your business even if you have zero experience or no audience yet. So digital products are a perfect way to start a profitable business in 2025. Why? There's two reasons. First, because you can automate most of it using AI, and second, because you can quickly test what customers actually want to buy with way less financial risk. And here's proof that this works. In just 3 months, I made $126,000 selling digital products. I've already made a detailed video breaking down exactly how I did it, so I'll drop that in the link below. But here's where it gets really interesting. Since publishing that video, I've been dialing up my AI game to build a business that practically runs on autopilot. So I went from grinding 12-hour days to working just 3 to 4 hours per day, all while still making money. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to set up these same systems step by step so you can copy what's working for me. But first, let me be straight with you. This will only work if you are dedicated. If you're looking for just another make money online easy hack, do yourself a favor and stop watching this video right now. I'm going to show you how to build a viable business so you can free up your time by connecting multiple AI tools. I'm going to share exactly what's working for me so you can just copy it. The secret sauce really is having these AI tools do the work for you while you sleep. Really. To give you an idea of what's possible, 6 months ago, I was spending 6 hours a day on research, content creation, and email marketing. Now AI does most of the heavy lifting. So let me show you exactly how. Now let's talk about the foundation of everything. Knowing what to sell. Without this one, none of the automations really matter. So if you've been selling online, you know that guessing is just a recipe for disaster. So if you want real results, you can't just wing it. That's why I rely on a system that tells me exactly what's working in any niche week after week. Here's how I set this up. So first, you're gonna create a very simple Google Sheet. I call mine Market Intelligence, but you can call it whatever you want. And in the spreadsheet, you're gonna need 4 columns: product title, price, popular features, and notes. Now, every Monday morning, and I mean every Monday morning, I spend exactly 20 to 40 minutes doing research. So I simply start looking at top selling products on ProfitTree. ProfitTree is an amazing research tool, especially if you want to understand Etsy trends. So I really recommend that you invest in that spy tool. So I type in my niche, let's say productivity planners, and I look at the top best-selling products. I also analyze the pricing strategies my competitors use, and I also understand how they designed their digital products. But here's where most people stop. I also need to understand customers' real problems. And that's when I switched to Reddit, because marketplaces reviews, they lack a bit of detail. So here's how I scrape customer data from Reddit. I'm gonna go to ChatGPT and I'm gonna use its agent mode. I'm gonna give it this specific prompt. And Reddit, FYI, is much better for finding genuine customer problems. Why? Because people are way more honest about their struggles there. Because unfortunately, on marketplaces like Etsy, reviews are usually I love it or I hate it, which doesn't give us any actionable data. Now, before you think that that sounds like too much work, well, it is, but here's the good news. You can actually use AI scrapers to automate the product research process. And remember, ChatGPT Agents is doing all the work for you when it comes to Reddit data mining. Now, you can also use tools like Browse AI to scrape Reddit or other marketplaces. The big advantage with using Browse AI is that they have a bunch of pre-built bots ready to go. So this can make your life way easier, especially if you don't have time to build your own AI bots or write your own prompts, right? Or if you feel intimidated by the AI agents on ChatGPT. They have a free version with about 50 credits per month, FYI. Now, once I have my data, I'm gonna go to ChatGPT and I'm going to use this exact prompt. I'm gonna say, I'm going to give you market research data from ProfitTree and Reddit for productivity planners, so include your niche here. Please analyze this data and tell me what are the 3 most common customer frustrations, what features do the highest price products have, what problems do customers mention that current products don't solve, and what should my next product focus on. And then I'm gonna add all my data. Make sure that you add your Reddit data and also the data from your Google Sheets. Now, for this to work, I do recommend that you invest in the paid version of ChatGPT, because if you're serious about building a business, let's face it, you're going to have to invest on AI tools to help you be more productive. Now, here's where it gets really powerful. After a few weeks of doing this, you're gonna start seeing patterns. You're gonna notice that customers keep complaining that planners are too overwhelming, that perhaps there's not enough space for notes, or that they wish they could also print them versus only having them available on their iPads. And these complaints are gold because they're gonna become your product ideas. So for this to work, you have to be consistent. Don't just throw together one digital product expecting to be a millionaire overnight. That's not how it works, especially if you are a beginner. You're gonna need to test and create multiple iterations until you find something that will resonate with your customers. So set your alarm clock for Monday at 7 a.m. before you drop your kids off to school, and do your research before everyone else in your family is awake. This is key in you being successful. This way you'll have more market intelligence than 99% of your competitors, and this will give you the edge you need to be successful. All right, so now that you have your market research framework running on autopilot and you are feeding your AI bot every week with fresh marketing intelligence, let's move to the next piece of the puzzle: how to create a product that sells. Now, let's talk about actually creating your digital products. This used to take me about 2 weeks, and now it takes me about 1 week total, sometimes half a week. And most of that time is spent actually designing the product. But here's the truth: AI can't design your entire digital product. It doesn't have that capability yet. So AI is great for ebooks and written content, but even then, it's important for you to know that you need to polish it heavily, right? You need to edit it. For design-heavy products like planners, AI gives you the outline and the ideas, but you still need to do the actual creation work using tools like Canva or buying templates from Creative Fabrica. So while AI speeds up my research and planning, I still have to do the design work myself. The difference is that now I'm spending time on high-value activities instead of guessing what to create. So let me show you an example. Let's say that my research told me that customers want like a simple daily planner that can be easily printed and has more space for notes. So here's the exact process that I would use. So first, I would go to ChatGPT and give it some context. So based on my market research, customers want a daily planner that solves the following problems. Then I would insert the list of the customer complaints or different pain points here based on my research, and then create a detailed outline for daily planner that directly addresses these issues. The outline should include page structure, interactive elements, design and layout, features to address pain points, and ensure the outline is comprehensive enough that someone could create the planner without needing follow-up questions. Provide enough detail that a designer or developer could use this outline to build the actual product. So this is simple enough, right? It's gonna give you all the data you need to be able to create this high quality digital planner or whatever digital products that you're building. So ChatGPT will then give me a complete blueprint. So next, I'm gonna take this outline to Canva, and I'm not a designer, but Canva actually makes it super simple. I'm gonna search for daily planner templates and pick one that is close to what I want. You can also go to Creative Fabrica and do this. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna modify whatever template that I purchased or that I took from Canva, and I'm gonna create my digital planner this way. Now, the other thing worth noting as well is that you might wanna create these planners on Notion as well, or using GoodNotes. So with GoodNotes, all it is actually a PDF that customers can download, and it's an editable PDF actually. So please keep in mind that there's multiple ways of creating these digital planners. You have to be conscientious through your market research to get an understanding of what are people actually selling online, right? So is it Notion templates? Is it GoodNotes? What's the format, right? And also understanding what customers are looking for. And so based on that information, you're gonna create a digital products for your customers. And again, leverage templates that are readily available, whether on Canva or by leveraging Creative Fabrica. So now for the specific example, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the layout, add more space for notes, and remove elements that they said are confusing to them based on my market research. Next, I'm gonna need a compelling product description, and this is also where AI can help us. So I'm gonna go back to ChatGPT and say this prompt: Write a product description for this daily planner that speaks directly to people who are frustrated with complicated planners and printing issues. Use the story brand framework, identify the problem, agitate it, and then present this planner as a solution. Include keywords like simple daily planner and printable planner PDF. And this is great because it gives me great insights based on the customer research that I already did. So instead of taking me all day to write good sales copy, it literally took me 5 minutes. Now, let's talk about the part that used to take me forever, social media. I was spending 2 to 3 hours every day creating content for Instagram and TikTok. Now I spend about 15 minutes a day reviewing and posting what AI helped me create. But let me be honest, that's mostly because I shifted my strategies with my other faceless brands. So instead of following the crowd and posting on Instagram and TikTok, I actually started experimenting with only marketing my digital products on text-based platforms like LinkedIn, X, and Threads. And that was the best decision I ever made. Now, if you're just starting out, I want you to just focus on one platform because trying to manage multiple platforms can really be overwhelming and confusing. So here's how I set this up. I use a tool called Buffer for scheduling. You can also use Hootsuite or Later. They all work the same way. The free versions work fine when you're starting out, so just start with that. And then every Sunday, I batch create content for the entire week. And then I'm gonna go to ChatGPT and give it this exact prompt. So create a 7-day content calendar for promoting my new daily planner on Threads. Each post should address a specific customer pain point while being visually engaging and community oriented. The content should be a mix of helpful tips, relatable challenges, and ways the planner can solve these pain points with a focus on connecting emotionally with the audience. Ensure that the posts encourage interaction, build community, and highlight the value of the planner. And then I list the problems from my research. So this is why, again, research is so important because you want to know the pain points of your customers so you can add these elements into your social media copy, into your sales copy, and into the way you actually deliver that product as well. Now, ChatGPT is going to give you 7 pieces of content, all different, but promoting the same product. And by the way, don't just post buy my planner, right? That's not going to work. Make sure that ChatGPT creates valuable content like that's more psychologically driven, right? Like the reason why your New Year's resolution never gets done, like content like that provides value while promoting your product. Then you go on Buffer and then you're gonna schedule all your posts. Now, if you're starting out with just one platform, you can actually schedule directly all these posts directly inside the platform in advance. So I do this once per week and my social media runs automatically. But here's the best part. After each post goes live, I like to check the engagement. So which post got the most likes, comments, and shares. And then I keep a spreadsheet with all this information. So then when I create the next week content, I tell ChatGPT, well, last week this post about the New Year's resolution got 50 likes, while the other post got 10 likes, and create more content focused on similar pain points. And by the way, you can also upload your spreadsheet with all your data and have ChatGPT create posts based on best performers. And this is great because the AI learns what my audience responds to, and then the content gets better every week. So for engagement, I also use ChatGPT to help with responding as well. So when somebody comments on my post, I copy their comment and then I ask ChatGPT, write a helpful response to this comment that continues a conversation and builds rapport, keep it under 30 words, and match my friendly but professional tone. So email marketing used to terrify me. I just didn't want to sound too salesy in my emails. But now I have AI to help me write the email content for me. So I still have to review it and ensure it works, but it's doing a lot of the heavy lifting for me. So I use Kit for email marketing, but MailChimp or any other email platforms, they all work the same way. But take note that Kit offers a free plan called Newsletter, and it also supports like 10,000 subscribers with unlimited emails, landing pages, and forms with limited automation and basic tagging. Now, here's my exact process for setting up automated email sequences. When somebody buys my daily planner, they automatically get added to a welcome email sequence that delivers anywhere between 5 to 8 emails in over 2 weeks. And then I have ChatGPT help me write these emails. So here's the prompt I use, which is quite lengthy, but you'll see it makes all the difference because it's very detailed. So this detailed prompt includes specific goals and actions action for each emails while keeping the tone friendly and non-salesy. It also gives ChatGPT clear direction on what to focus on for each message. It also gives me 5 complete emails which I can edit and paste into Kit. And then I simply set them up automatically. I send the first email immediately after the customer purchases, email 2 after the 3rd day, and email 3 after day 7, and so on. But I also have sequences for people who didn't purchase anything yet. So when somebody joins my newsletter but didn't purchase, they get a different sequence. So I tell ChatGPT the following. So write a 3 email sequence for people who downloaded my free planning template but haven't bought my daily planner yet. Don't be pushy, but address common objections like price concerns and uncertainty about whether digital planners work. Include social proof and a special offer in email 3. Well, the results, my email sequence converts about 3% of subscribers to customers. So I said it once and it runs forever. You can also start a weekly newsletter, which you can batch create as well. So every month, for instance, you can ask ChatGPT to create 4 newsletter topics that would interest people who buy, for instance, productivity planners, right? Depending on your niche. Then have it write the newsletter, review them, maybe add a personal story or 2, and then you just simply schedule it. Now, let me show you what this actually means in real numbers. So before implementing these AI systems, I was working 30+ hours per week. Now I'm making 42,000 per month, working maybe 10 hours per week. So if you're thinking this sounds overwhelming, don't worry. So first of all, you don't need to implement everything all at once. Here's exactly how I want you to start. So here's what I want you to do. Week 1, set your market research system, right? Create the spreadsheet, do your first round of research, and then get your first AI analysis, right? So this will be the foundation of your business. Research is key. Then week 2, I want you to create your first digital product using the AI system that I showed you. So don't overthink it. Just pick one problem from your research and simply solve it. Then week 3, set up a basic social media automation. Start with just one platform, create a week's worth of content, and then simply schedule it. Then week 4, create your first email sequence. Even if you only have 10 subscribers, set up that welcome sequence. And then after your first month, you'll have the basic system running. Then you can actually add more layers to it, like more products and more advanced automations. So the key is really starting little by little and building up from there. Like, don't try to implement everything that is in the video all at once, because you're gonna feel overwhelmed otherwise. Now, be patient with yourself when you're setting up these systems, right? It's gonna take you some trial and error, and that's just part of the journey. But once these systems are running, they're gonna fundamentally change how your business operates. You're not gonna feel overwhelmed anymore with your day-to-day. And for me personally, I still make creative decisions and I still connect with customers and I still set the strategy, but AI handles all the repetitive, time-consuming tasks that used to drain my energy and kill my momentum. So start with a market research system. Just try to do that this week. Then spend about 20 minutes researching your niche, run it through AI, and see what insights you get. That alone is gonna change how you think about product creation. And if you want the exact templates, prompts, and step-by-step guides I use for all of these systems, check out the description box below. So the difference between successful and struggling entrepreneurs isn't access to the information, but it's execution speed. So stop planning and start building. I'll see you guys next time.